Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone out there who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass, guys, because 31 years ago, I was a dumbass. But through the grace of God, I can honestly say today, 31 years later, I'm now a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible. It means donkey, and that's what I was. Guys, we have to start looking at addiction differently. Everyone out there needs to know that somebody's listening, okay? I'm always here if you need to talk. The other thing is this: you are not powerless. You're being lied to, not over anything, okay? Especially through God. You are not powerless, and I can prove it to you. If anyone would like this book, you can go to Simon & Schuster's Archway Publishing bookstore. And if there's anyone out there truly can't afford my book, please get in touch with me. I'm a recovery coach. I'm a nutritional health coach. My services to you are always free. Please know someone is listening, okay? I'm here to help. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Having said that, I want to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors. Fire Team Designs. We're going to start with them, okay? They do everything for me. They do my t-shirts, my hats, my mugs, my tumblers, everything. And they do some really cool, silly things as well. Okay, so you just give them a little idea and they will expand on that and make some really cool stuff for you. Okay, their website is fireteamdesigns.com. I also want to let everyone know about Lead East. Okay, Lead East, their anniversary is this year, and Lead East FB@AOL.com. The number is 908-876-9100. Their website is leadeast.net. This year's Thursday, September 1st to the 4th, Parsippany, New Jersey, the Hilton Hotel and the Hampton Inn has rooms, so call for rooms. So Lead East, it's the biggest car show long weekend, and music. This year it's going to be all doo-wop. So you won't want to miss this. They have the most incredible singers, incredible musicians, it's just unbelievable, okay? And the best part is I'm going to be there, guys. Yeah, come hang out with me, okay? So, and get in touch with me too if you want any more information about Lead East, okay? Having said that, I want to introduce my incredible guest. He's not a stranger to the Geri Petito Show. Okay, I've interviewed Alan G. Bookman before, and we're here to interview him again, and he's got an incredible story to help encourage everyone out there who feels a little lost, okay? So, Alan, say hello to the world.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
So, it's a pleasure to have you back on the
Thank you.
show. We're going to give everybody a treat today. We're going to play some of your music. You're also going to sing some live songs. But before we do any of that, Alan, I interviewed you last year. And, your story is incredible to me, especially based on what you went through and what you've done after, you've went through all that. Let's talk a little bit about that. What I do remember was at 21 years old, you were in a coma. Let's start there first of all. Talk about what happened.
Well, it was the wee hours of the morning, and I was crossing the street, uh, and I got hit by a car. Now I don't remember it because you block out stuff like that when you're in a coma, and it was really a shock to wake up, and I couldn't do anything. I woke up completely disabled, and what I had to do was learn everything over again, everything. And I'm still, I'm still not where I was in some ways, even though I'm so much older now. But I'm still, things come back and then they fade away. It took me a long time to learn how to walk again. I was in the hospital for 5 months. So I had PT, and they were teaching walking and teaching addition and math skills. So it was really, really difficult. And my parents helped me a lot. They came and supported me, came every day. My friends also came and supported me. I have some great friends there. And some of it was painful because they were treating one of my legs improperly. And I would tell them, this knee needs surgery. They thought it needed PT, but it really needed surgery. And one day the head doctor comes in. He says, "Oh, guess what? We're going to do some surgery on you." Yeah. So he finally figured out as I was saying all along. So but then after 5 months, I was released, and I was in a wheelchair for a while. And
How
then
long? How long were you in the wheelchair?
Oh, it wasn't that long. I don't remember exactly. A couple of weeks. Then I was in a walker for a while, and then I had to learn. Then I was walking again with crutches.
Okay. How old are you now? Let's tell everyone that.
66.
Okay. So now, it took you a while though to feel like you were back to as much of yourself as you could.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It took a long, long time. And I was working on that for up until now. And it's at a certain point, I started doing some things that I shouldn't have done after that, and that's also part of our recovery now, because you can't really, if you're not aware of everything, it's like a waste of a day.
Okay.
And I wasted a lot of days. So, but I'm back now. I'm healthy. I'm trying to be healthy. Drink my water, and certain things I can't do. My balance has been totally disrupted. I can no longer. I'm terrified to walk on a diving board.
Oh, well, I am too. Who wants to even walk on a diving board? You're so funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I used to do it with no problem. And another thing that I can't do now is ride a bike. I kept trying to ride a bike, and it kept being not successful. And I just don't have the sense of balance to do that. Or it could be psychological. I don't know, but there's a lot of things I still can't do.
Okay.
But
okay.
Luckily, there's enough things I can do to be myself.
So what we're gonna do now is, all right. Before we play one of your tracks, I want to say this to everyone. I want to read something that I wrote about you with our last interview. So. Music saved your life. You had your first CD at how old?
Oh, see, that's another part of my brain that's not too good. Remembering numbers, but it was like, I was like at age 60. Not 60.
It was in your 60s.
Yeah.
Yep, it was in your 60s.
Yeah, it was just a couple of years ago. So,
yes. And
yeah.
And you're sure you're 66 now?
Now I'm sure I'm 66.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that might have been like 64 then, something like
Yeah.
that. Your 60s, very cool. And you went from being in a coma at 21 to a jazzy blues rocker and roller hippie.
Well,
Okay, that's how I like to describe you.
yeah. Thank you.
So I think it's very cool. So you know what, Ruben, give us our first track, and then we'll talk about your music. Okay, Alan?
Okay. Sure. Love to.
George Bush started a war because it wasn't in his neighborhood. And I want applause. It's one of my built-in laws. I want attention. It's one of my silly conventions. Money from a friend, right out an IOU. Do you like my added rhythm with the boogie to the blues? And I want applause. It's one of my built-in laws. I want attention. It's one of my silly conventions. I'm accused of being crazy. I'm accused of being strange. I'm accused of being normal, but still the urge remains. Oh, I want applause. It's one of my built-in laws. I want attention. It's one of my silly conventions. The bother to the sun. You like my new deodorant, said the H-bomb to the gun. And I want applause. It's one of my built-in laws. I want attention. It's one of my silly conventions.
Yay! Standing ovation.
Thank you.
Tell us about that song and tell us about your music.
Okay, well, that particular song is about my need for approval, which I guess a lot of people have that.
What's the title? Tell everyone the title.
It's called I Want Applause.
I want applause.
I want applause. So it's my ego asking for more. Like, it just couldn't say, could just want to accept, oh, you did a good job, Alan. I got to have applause, all that stuff. So that's what that song was about. And, I'm different personas in the song. I sort of refer to that. I'm crazy, I'm strange, I'm normal, all those things. So that's really how that song came to be.
So I have a question about the song, and then we'll talk more about your music career. So do you still want applause? Who doesn't? If we think about it, right?
I'm trying to work on a program to get detached from your ego, and
Okay.
you become more aware of other people. And I think I'm doing that, but I still admit I like applause.
Okay. We all like applause, Alan. Okay, but that's cool. So you should write a song. I don't know, something like contradicting that a little bit. That would be a fun song. You know, I
Uh-huh.
still like applause, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, a song like I don't need recognition. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
but I don't
I'd
need
like to be
recognition, but I
I'd
still
like to
like
be
applause.
anonymous.
Yeah, but I still like applause. You should say like it's not need recognition, but I still like applause.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so now talk a little bit about your musical career, how music helped save your life. Let's talk about that.
Well, music was always a part of my life since I remember. Uh, my father, may he rest in peace, started to teach me piano at a very young age, and I know that I played a recital in first grade, and that got a lot of applause. Uh, but then my father wanted me to go further in classical music, and I wasn't really ready to put up a lot of pressure, a lot of practice into that. Like he wanted me to be Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms all in one, and I was none of them. I was Alan Bookman. So we had a lot of arguments, me and my father, and for a lot of years after that, I didn't play the piano at all. But then I picked up jazz from my dad. And rock and roll, the boogie woogie. So I started to get interested again in rock and roll. In between, I played trombone in the marching band for the school. But then trombone wasn't cool anymore, so I had to go back to being in a rock band. And
Wait, hold that thought. Hold that thought. When was trombone ever cool?
they made a movie about it.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm being funny. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, that's trombone jokes. So I started getting in rock bands. I was in junior high. I was like 14, and I had my first band, and we played at a dance at the 8th grade dance in Willingboro Memorial Hospital. I mean, high school. So sorry.
That's okay.
And but we got booed off the stage. But that didn't deter us. It didn't
Okay.
deter me, because that wasn't the first time. It wasn't the last time I was going to get booed. That happened other times too. But I really was into getting the best band I could be in high school, and I did get in some good bands. And there's one person from Willingboro. His name is Nefti Santiago. He's a very well-known percussionist, and he played with the band Mandrill. And I was in his band for a little while, so that was my highlight.
That's cool.
Yeah. So then I went to. You have a question?
No. Keep going.
Okay. So then I went to college, and I tried a couple bands in college, and but then I kind of went to the side, because I was trying to pass college,
Okay.
and so I didn't really focus on that for a few years. But then I started to get interested again in music, and I had some people really encouraged me to go out there. And one was Frank Pinto. I went to see Frank Pinto at a show, and I didn't know him because there's another Frank Pinto that I knew, but this was not the same one. But I got to know him. We had really good conversations, and before long, he was inviting me up to play with him, which was great. And then, but he didn't pay me, but he repaid me by making my first album. That's how he repaid me.
Very cool. I love Frank.
So,
I interviewed him, and I'm going to be interviewing him again as well.
yeah, no, yeah. So then, as I got older, I started to get interested in bands again, and so I have been in a few bands. Back when I was in Jersey, I'm in upstate New York now, but the past 2.5 years. But I had bands in New Jersey, and I did have my last band I had. I felt was really a good band, but we might get back together for my album to do a song. It's possible because I'm recording the second album in Philadelphia. So I come down and do that. So that would be great.
That would be really great.
Yeah.
So would you like to sing a song live for us? Treat us?
I'll try.
All right.
And if it gets messed up, I'm going to blame it on my brain.
It's okay. That's right. We don't care.
I spent too much time kissing you because I think I see a hidden dream that I keep on hiding. Yeah, yeah, so far away, I keep on hiding. You say it's love to change my ways. He just passed away. Well, that kind of just fizzled out.
I loved it. It doesn't matter. I loved it. So, all right. So now I want to ask you a couple questions. Growing up and dealing with everything you had to deal with, you know, after your coma and all that and everything that went on, and you allowed music to just help you and it saved you and all that good stuff. I mean, everybody has a story about music. I don't care who we are. I don't care what we've gone through. We could all relate to music.
Right.
So other than what you've already shared, what other groups and bands did you absolutely love? And did you get to see any of them?
Well, of course, the Beatles. I never saw the Beatles. And the Rolling Stones. I did get to see the Rolling Stones when they came to Philadelphia about 3 years ago. So that was a thrill.
That's cool.
And I really like the band Traffic.
Okay.
And there's a lot of heavy keyboards in that band. It's Stevie Winwood. So I saw them. And then another band I loved was the Allman Brothers. They have such a great sound. And I've seen them about 6 times, I think. So they were great. And all the other blues bands too. Savoy Brown. I saw B.B. King. I saw quite a few. Santana.
Okay, I love Santana. Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, was there anyone in particular that you always wish you could have seen, but you never got the chance to? I love asking that question.
Well, there's a lot of them. I guess unfortunately, because I'll never get to see them now. But I think the biggest one is Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, because he was a genius, and his flame burnt out quickly.
Yes.
and we don't have them anymore. But I would have loved to sing Hendrix.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand and get that. You know, um, like for me with music, and I always say this, I always say I was born too late because I'm 61, and for a 61-year-old to be madly in love with oldies and doo-wop and Elvis, I mean, the way I am, there's a lot of us out there that love all the oldies, but I am an oldies fanatic. So I always say I was born too late, but I still love Genesis and Jethro Tull and all of them, of course. You know what I
Right.
mean? I loved rock and roll. I loved. We all have a story that we can relate to with music and what it's done for us in our lives. And I remember thinking when I was young that without music, who wants to even live?
Right. This
Okay,
is
we need music in our lives. So your story just resonates that.
yeah.
It just resonates it, Alan, and it helps so many people. Ruben, why don't you play another song for us? We're going to play another one of your songs. I have 3 of them in queue, and then we'll have you sing another one if you'd like also, okay?
Yep.
That's up to you. Yep. Yep. So Ruben, get our song ready, baby. And I'm also going to read a poem for you, Alan, out of my book.
Uh, love it.
Waiting for the sunrise. Maybe it'll bring the light into my eyes. It's tomorrow again. Are you still my friend? Your dreams, what do they mean? She watches TV all day. She doesn't go out to play. Nothing will tear her away. She doesn't have much to say. It's tomorrow again. Are you still my friend? Your dream, what do you mean? We dream all night, dreaming things are alright, dreaming things are all wrong, but we don't dream for long because it's tomorrow again. Are you still my friend? Your dreams, what do they mean? What do they mean?
Yay! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the jazz sound. I love your voice, your deep, raspy voice. I love, love, love it. Okay.
Yeah, and Frank is doing a lot of background singing and all that one, or on all the instruments. He plays them also.
Tell us about that song, what it means.
Well,
The title. What's the title? The title?
it's Tomorrow Again. It's called, and it was written when a time when I was depressed, and it's like it's tomorrow again. It's just the same day over and over again. It's like I'm waiting for something to happen, but nothing's happened. I'm waiting for the sunrise, and it didn't happen. When I was depressed, when you're depressed, everything's down. You feel really bad. So that's what that song was about.
Okay, so now, did you ever write a song about now tomorrow is here, I'm no longer depressed?
Uh, hmm.
The sun finally shone.
Well, yeah, I have some positive ones,
Okay,
for
cool,
sure.
cool. Would you like to sing another one for us?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I went to a beautiful Seder last night. We do it every year on the first two nights. We talked about freedom, freedom for all. Now we're going to Easter services today. Looking for a place to make my spirit come alive. Find that was holding me back from getting back to the place I left behind. Rudy says you cannot recreate this brand new day. There were those who could bring. Yeah. So I'm on my way, trying to recreate this brand new day. On this brand new day.
Beautiful. I love the piano. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. My gosh, it sounds so beautiful. What's the name of that song?
That song is called Easter Sunday.
So tell us what that means to you.
Well, that song, um, as my theology progressed over the years, I really realized that all religion is special, and I recognize all religions as having something to offer, and the different angles of it. But still, I grew up Jewish, and I still follow the Jewish traditions. But I also go to Christian church, and I follow that also. And one time I went to a service with the Unitarians,
Okay.
and down in Cherry Hill, they have a place down there, and there was a guy named Rudy, brilliant priest, not a priest, but a
Yeah.
reverend or whatever, and he made a sermon that we can't go back. We have to go forward because he was tying it into spring because it was Easter. So he said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to leave the past behind. And we're going to go on new ways, new treats, new joys. So that's what that song was about. I put Rudy in there. Rudy has passed away also, but a lot of people passed away. So
Beautiful. So it's funny that you're talking about being Jewish and you also go to a Christian church. So I'm a Christian and I have a lot of Jewish friends, right? And over the years, they've come out with really cool Jesus movies, Christian movies, right? Is Heaven Real? All these cool movies. So what I like to do is I put them out there on Facebook and I'll say, all right, guys, if anyone's questioning their faith, come with me to this movie. I'll treat you and I'll buy you popcorn and a soda. Okay? So my friend, I actually spoke to him today and we were talking about this with his new girlfriend and we were laughing about it. So he's a Jewish man and he's the first one that will always say, okay, I want the free popcorn and the free soda. Okay, I'm going. We crack up laughing and he's come with me to 2 Jesus movies and he's loved it. We had a blast.
yeah.
It's just beautiful, it's beautiful. So I want to read a poem for you out of my book, okay? Because I revised my book. This was my book in 2016, and in 2020, it's now this, okay?
Yeah.
So I have some really cool poems in here, not just about addiction, all that, about life. And one of them is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, and that's what you've done. And that's what we all need to do. So I want to read this for you, okay?
Thank you.
We are born with talents. We are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, then our jobs to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share. Our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name will live forever, forever and a day. Go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And you've accomplished that, Alan. You make sure everyone smiles.
Oh,
That's for you. So it's important that we do find out what our gifts are and utilize them. Everyone has them. And it's sad that when people don't realize what their gifts are and go through life in misery.
right.
So, so with you, it's music. With me, it's, drawing and poetry and my radio shows, talking. I mean, we all have something to offer. God's
Right.
given us all something. And I love what you've done. I love what you've done. So we have a little bit more time. I want you to be able to say everything and anything it is you want to say before we play your final song. And did you want to sing a third song, or did you just want to sing two?
Well, you have one more song to play though,
I
right?
have another song to play, yes.
I could play one more.
All right, so you want to sing one more live?
Okay.
Let's have it.
Okay. She came along and pulled the cord out of me. Began to flow. You know I just can't believe it. I'll bet it's just a dream. Then I feel one coming back and I know that she cares. We fall to a lover's step. You would not believe the rush that goes through me. She knows how to make people happy. She brings the joy out of me. The wind blows, trees they sway. Everything's beautiful today. I'm feeling above. I know she doesn't always believe me. Just like sometimes I think she's a dream. But now I'm awake and you're still here with me. The happiest I've ever been.
Yay. I love it. I absolutely love it. You've made me completely smile today. Thank you.
Good.
So I want you to talk about anything else you want to make sure you talk about. I don't want you to forget anything. Is there anything you want to say to everyone listening?
Well, as we talked about before, life has been really hard the past 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it was really hard before that too. So I would like people to find themselves, like I've found my music, and really live your life to the fullest. Don't waste any time. And if you need somebody, sometimes you need people to talk to. Sometimes you're depressed, and there's a lot of people to talk to out there, and that's what is needed. And what's needed is just looking around, you know, learning a new habit. It's all really so important right now, and people have to be sincere with each other, and not brief, and not ignore, not push away, not brush, don't make fun of people if they're different than you, and accept everyone, because there's a lot, everybody has something they're going through. So people get a little mad at driving. Somebody cut somebody else off, but everybody's going through something that's on their mind. So it's universal, and we, as a human race, should recognize that.
I agree.
And just support each other.
I agree.
That's my message.
Well, we're gonna play another song.
Okay.
And then after the song, I'll give my thank yous. But I want you to, after the song, tell us about this song. Okay?
Okay.
So Ruben, play our third song.
Excuse me, brother, can you spare some time? I wasted my own waiting in lines, but I can't get it back. Turn me into a beast. It's not what, sir, it's a need. Excuse me, mister, can you spare some pride? Mine's been ripped right from inside. Can't chew with no teeth, like a gas leak. It's not a want, brother, it's a need. Yeah. Excuse me, lady, can you spare some love? I forgot about it when push came to shove. Forgot how it feels to be cut and not bleed. It's more than a want, it's a need. Need to drink, need to feed. It's more than a want, man. It's It's a need. It's a need.
Of that song and what it means.
It's Excuse Me Brother, it's called. And that song was co-written by my cousin Gordon Glantz. And he wrote the words. So, and we really didn't talk about what they mean or anything. But I see it as a song being alienated from everything, not really feeling part of the world, asking for help, asking for love, asking for respect, asking for strength. So all those things, and that was a good song I wrote with my cousin Gordon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Alan, I want to say thank you to you for honoring me with another great interview today.
You're welcome.
I want to say thank you to your beautiful wife. Tell everyone her name.
Terry Bookman.
For always being there to help us. Okay, we love you. She's awesome. But most important, I want to thank you for your music, for what it does, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. Okay, you know, we all need music like you have been singing and your songs. They seem very sad, but people who are sad need to hear those songs. And then people who are not feeling sad at the moment, when they hear them, can relate to when they did feel sad. Right. And it helps you all the way around. So I want to thank you for that. Before we close out, is there anything you may have forgotten to say? I don't want you to forget, Alan.
I just want to I thanked Frank Pinto for the first album.
Yeah.
The second album, just starting. I'm doing it in a different place. And Frank Pinto was playing bass. Not Frank Pinto. John Belushi was playing bass on the second album.
Okay.
So he was featured in that song.
Okay, cool.
And it's like for people, if they have a extra prayer in their heart, send it from my father-in-law because he's been ill in the hospital. Yeah. And other than that, just everybody have an open mind and accept each other. Now, even if you're annoyed at somebody, even if somebody annoys you, still accept them. I know it's tough sometimes, but that's we're all struggling. We're all struggling in some way.
I agree, Alan. Thank you for that beautiful message. We will keep your father-in-law in prayer.
Thank
you again for this incredible interview. Ruben, take us out, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
It's really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.